Hello, my fellow bottles of unprescribed Adderall. I'm Mr. Church. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the new poop in the Atom Shop. But before I do that, let me just remind you that it is the 1st of July, and that means there's a new axolotl that you can go try to catch, and you won't, so you give up and start playing Minecraft instead. And this one is looking kind of hairy with all these hairs on it. Now the clue, and here's a clue, so you're gonna have to put on your thinking cap for this one, guys, to figure out where you can find it. In ashy hills and forests deep, this is where the scaled axolotl will creep. Now that's way too many syllables there on the last part there, but that's fine. They put in the effort. They gave it the old college try. They probably didn't go to college, but if they did, I'm sure it was worth the time and money. Now here's a picture from the ash heap, and here's a picture from the forest region. Gee, I wonder where we can find this thing. Let's go catch some fish or axolotl. Are these things? Never mind. Now, I promised we'd be looking at the new poop in the Atom Shop, and this week we have the Vault-Tec Game Room Bundle, which is new stuff. Some of it's just reskinned stuff that we already had. And then there's also this thing that lies and says it's new stuff, but it's not. This is all repeat items. That's the Cozy Night In Bundle. Very fitting right before the 4th of July. That's what I'm going to be doing for the 4th of July. Of course, also take a peek at the weather station. This is a return item on sale for a whopping $960. I'll be peeping at some of this stuff as well, but let's get into it. Vault-Tec Game Room Bundle. This, of course, has the VaultTec Ball Toss, Gamer Player Title Suffix, VaultTec Signal Stand Lamp, Blue VaultTec Game Table, Blue VaultTec Game Chair, VaultTec Pinball Machine, VaultTec Games Cupboard, and the VaultTec Tripod Lamp. These are obviously out of order as always, but one thing I thought was interesting is they finally remembered that they do have images of the suffixes that they can put in here, and so that we don't run out of slots and stuff. They keep putting like the suffixes and titles and stuff and then not having a picture of it, and I've been roasting them, so maybe they're listening to at least 1% of what I'm saying and they're making adjustments. That's so good, I'm proud of you. Now, of course, the gamer player title suffix can be equipped in your Pip-Boy. You just open your Pip-Boy, and then you tab over to the suffixes all the way over past the stats, and you can put it on, mix and match, and put it with other stuff if you really want to. Not sure why you would, and it'll be displayed over your head in-game, and when you're on a team, it'll be at the end of your name, so that people can tell from afar that you're a gamer. Because you know how, because you... Now we also have the VaultTec Signal Stand Lamp. This is a lamp that's a signal stand, I guess. I don't really know what that means, but this is obviously just a recolor of a lamp that we already have. And so is the other lamp, the tripod lamp. I actually have the other tripod lamp and I put them next to each other. You can see they're exactly the same, except this one is slightly darker. The light on it's darker, and the poles on it are darker as well. But if you look closely, the lampshade on the one I already have is still Vault-Tec themed. It's got these little Vault-Tec symbols on it. So I'm not really sure what's going on here. We have two kinds of Vault-Tec tripod lamps. I don't think I own the other lamps, so I can't compare those. But that's pretty weird. Now we also have a reskinned Games Cupboard. Now, if you don't know, we already have a Games Cupboard, and no, I don't actually say cupboard like that, but one time I heard someone say it like that, and I thought it was so stupid. It was actually an inspiration. So, anyway, there's a better version of this that's not themed, it doesn't have logos on it, and it's not moldy and rusty from the vault, and so, that's fine. If you already have that one, why would you get this one is the question I think we would all ask ourselves, especially because you can only build one of them because it is a collecting device. It collects board games, which is good for when you have those collect board games challenges, and you can put them in displays and stuff, of course, but we already have floor decor of games, so you don't really need them for that as much. But they are a cool device. I wish that they just had them available as floor decor and not as collecting devices, honestly, so that you could build more than one of them, or better yet, had one of each that you could do. But you know, why would you make logical decisions when you're making products for people to purchase? Speaking of logical decisions for making products for people to purchase, this is a reskinned pinball machine. We already have one pinball machine. This one, of course, says welcome home on it, and it has all this Vault-Tec stuff when you look really closely at it. How cute is that? Now, when you use this machine, even though it doesn't say this anywhere in the item shop, even though the item is sold by itself and there's a perfectly plenty of room for them to have typed it out, this thing does give you agility and perception when you use it. It's actually as soon as you lose and the ball goes down in, that's when you get the agility and perception. That makes a lot of sense. But yeah, this gives you both of those things. Now, anytime you have something at your camp that gives you a special, it's going to probably not stack, right? So there's something that'll give you agility, for example. There's only going to be one source of that. If something else gives you agility and you do it, it's just going to refresh the timer on it, which is usually 30 minutes, instead of reapplying it. It might actually be 20 minutes, but I'm not going to look because that would be too stupid. Now we also have the VaultTec Ball Toss. This thing, you toss your balls. What more can I say? This thing, as far as I can tell, does not give you any kind of special. Now, of this thing and the pinball, you can build 5 of them, and I'm not really sure why you would, but you can, so there's that. You're welcome. And that's great. This one, it has a slightly different blue color on it, but I'm not really sure why, so let's not worry about it too much. And last, and probably also least, we have the gaming chairs and table. This is a game chair, and this is a gaming table. When you break them, nothing happens. I broke everything in this bundle, and there's no cool, like, broken model for them. They just disappear. So that's that. But there's no special animation when you sit in them. I actually like these chairs. I think they're kind of nice. Again, I like that these chairs do not have any kind of logos or brandings. The same cannot be said of the table, unfortunately, with these hideous dice on it. That does limit what you can do with this table, but that's fine. I'm not really worried about that. The chairs are nice, though, and they will have other applications because they don't have stupid logos on them or any, like, Vault-Tec symbols or dice or anything like that. So I like the chairs, actually, and the chairs actually can be purchased by themselves, and they're only 150 atoms, which is not bad at all, in my opinion. And in fact, if I were to only buy one thing from this bundle, it would probably be the game chair, and then I wouldn't worry about any of the other stuff because it's kind of dookie, in my opinion. If you like Vault-Tec stuff, though, I'm sure you'll, like, probably start licking this all, and you'll, like... Yeah, of everything in this bundle, you can buy all of the stuff except for the recolored lamps, and of course the suffix by themselves down here, so that's not too bad. And now we have the Cozy Night In bundle. Now that's what I'm going to be doing for the 4th of July as well, so we can celebrate by staying in. This says it's a new, but it's not new, it's newly bundled, so that gives them the right to false advertise. I think that's what it says in the Geneva Convention or whatever. But in here we have just 4 items. We've got this absolute unit, that's a clean bathtub, in case you were wondering. We've got Jumpy Juice Company tea machine, and we've got the Gray Tabby Cat, and the Vault-Tec pajamas. Now, they actually, because there was only 4 items, they got really lucky here, and 2 of them accidentally lined up. Now, if you're not sure, you can actually get the Tabby Cat anytime you want. Just go into the camp items area. If you click on view, it'll hide your owned stuff. It's Q. Actually, on PC, it'll hide your owned stuff, so you don't have to look at that stuff. But yeah, if you go to Dwellers tab, it'll be right here in the list, the Gray Tabby Cat. There's also the German Shepherd. So you can get that whenever you want for 800 atoms. You don't need to get the bundle for it. I just actually backed out way too far. That's my bad. But the Gray Tabby Cat, that'll just follow you around, get in the way, walk on your pressure plates when you're building and stuff like that. So that's always fun. Make sure you pick that up. You can name it whatever you want. The Clean Bathtub... By the way, guys, this is important information, and it has been since it was put in the game. The Clean Bathtub is a floor decor item, even though the Dirty Bathtub is an appliance, okay? So we have, once it becomes, like, dirty, then it's an appliance. But before it's dirty, it's a floor decor item. Because it's clean and it's not used, it's clearly not real, okay? So it's not an appliance. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's really easy to find the stuff in the build menu, don't get me wrong, but when we do intuitive things like this, putting a dirty thing in an appliance and the clean one in floor decor, that's when things get really easy and simplified. So thank you so much, guys, for making it easier to find the 1 million stuff that we purchased from you against, you know, better judgment. So that's fun. But that's something you could get really if you wanted. And also the pajamas are just pajamas, they're whatever. You can actually get these by themselves down here. I'm not sure what they're being sold for on their own because I already own them. But they're down here. And also the Jumpy Juice Company Tea Machine, I didn't buy that because I already own the normal Company Tea Machine, which looks better because it's not stupidly themed and branded. I don't like stuff that's like that. But this is the size of it and the shape of it, and so it'll look like this. It'll take up that much space. You do need boiled water to craft it, which is fine. You can just make some, and it's fine. Company tea is really good, by the way. Company tea used to be one of the harder recipes to craft in the game, even though it is one of the better food buffs. It gives you AP regen, and it lasts for a goodly amount of time, and it does spoil, but if you have one of these in your camp, you can just keep constantly filling it up, and so you don't really need to worry about that. It's going bad, you just dump the rotten stuff. So yeah, I really like Company Tea. It's really great. It's something that I just constantly have on all times. So if you don't have a Company Tea machine, I might consider getting this in case you can't refill your stock at someone else's camp, because a lot of people have the Company Tea machine at this point because it's such a good food buff, and this really is a huge thing. And this might be one of the best. Between this and the pemmican maker, they might be, you know, one of the best resource collecting devices in the game, in my opinion. So that's everything in the Cozy Night In bundle. As you can see, these 4 items cost $13,000. So that's pretty good price, in my opinion, for 4 stuff that you don't even need, and that you can get, like the cat, who cares about it. But if you don't have the Company Tea machine, I would at least think about wasting your mom's money on it just for this one time. Now we also have, for 20% off, the weather station. This one is snow because it's almost the 4th of July. Now, in their defense, I will say this is an old item that's on sale, and like a lot of people do sell, you know, out of season stuff for a lower amount because they're trying to kind of fuck with your mind, because you're like, oh, I don't need this now, but then I might, and then I will have wished I had got it then, you know what I mean? Because you're not really in the holiday spirit yet, you're not going to be sure if you're going to want snow or not at that time. So that's how we can do it. A lot of businesses do this, and I will say it's a little bit more forgivable than having a brand new item that makes snow being sold on the 4th of July. So that is something else. That's something. But anyway, this looks like this, and it makes snow fall down. Everything looks kind of gray and overcast. And I will say, the reason why you might consider getting this now is not for when Christmas rolls around or whatever, but rather because this counts as rain for catching fish. So you will have an increased chance for getting certain stuff with the snow. And if you don't have the rain machine, you can get this and start fishing. I imagine they're going to sell a lot of these because of the new fishing stuff, especially with the new axolotl that everyone's going to be trying to get. So that's something to keep in mind. It is on sale, so it's only $9,658 million. So that's not too bad, I'd say, for something that makes the rain all washed out. Now, keep in mind, guys, that rain, snow, leaves, everything like that will fall through your glass roofs. And I found this out because it actually is an animation of the sunlight in the sky. So anytime that something lets like the sky or the sunlight through, it'll let the weather through. So that's why everything like rains through glass and all that shit, and that's not something that they'll ever fix or care about. Anyway, summer sales, this was last week's stuff that I didn't even make a video on because I needed to lay down and cry, and I didn't do that either because I didn't have enough time or effort and the energy crying about something like this was just too much to allocate resources towards. But I do have a video going over the Brotherhood of Steel Mega Bundle. If you guys missed my update that I put on my channel, a post thing saying that I wasn't going to make a video last week, I did mention I do have a video. So I'm going to link the video for this in the description if you guys want to check that out. It's still here if you want to buy about 7 million stuff that you're never going to use. That's something you could do for sure. Now we have the greatest hits. We've got the Park Ranger bundle. This comes with the Park Ranger jumpsuit, the Firewatch Lookout Tower, Exploring Our New World frame, and the Park Ranger Power Armor skin. So yeah, because you know how if you're a park ranger, you're probably going to want to be like destroying the forests by walking around in power armor in it. And also, this helmet doesn't come with the jumpsuit. Why would it? This looks like some kind of aviation mask with, I don't get it. And then this is, I mean, if I was going to try to sell a prefab, what I would do is I would, hear me out, take a zoomed in picture of it so you can only see like about 25% of it so that people will really want to purchase it. So that's what I'm going to do here. This is a prefab you can get at the Firewatch Lookout Tower. It's pretty massive. I actually have a build that I use this in, and I'll link that in the description as well if you guys want to check it out. It's a pretty old build, so forgive me if it's kind of poopy. Now, the Brotherhood Field Station Bundle. How exciting this is. This comes with a chalkboard letter kit, glow-in-the-dark Appalachia map, Haunted House window boards, Brotherhood of Steel Field Station, DEF CON sign, the weight bench, and the Industrial Slate chalkboard. Now, the Industrial Slate chalkboard, when you use this chalkboard, it actually gives you a little bit of a strength buff, so that's something you can have at your camp. The weight bench, this is a wall decor item. And then the DEF CON sign, this is actually one of the better things they have. I like the DEF CON sign. It's pretty scrappy. You can make a lot of like really cool builds, you know, board up stuff with the DEF CON sign. There's actually this, and then there's a second one that's about, it's about like this big, and it's like more loose boards. So like, let's have a picture of only one of the stuff that this gives you instead of both, since we want people to buy it. The field station, it's not bad for a wall decor item. By the way, if you're ever having trouble placing wall decor items like the field station, and you're in free cam mode, just get out of free cam mode and just forget about using free cam mode ever again, and that should solve your issues for the most part. Now, the Haunted House window boards, this thing is pretty massive. I don't even own this. And then we have the glow-in-the-dark Appalachia map. Now, I want to add this. The map only comes with these letters. It doesn't come with the actual chalkboard you see back here. And also, when you use the glow-in-the-dark map, the pieces of the map, you'll place them down, and then when you reload, pieces of the map will have popped forward. So the words that you spelled using the glow-in-the-dark map will be all messed up, because some of the letters will be sunk into the wall and some won't. Now, there will be 5 people that go into my comments and say this never happens to them magically after they used letters one time and then didn't reload and look at them again. But that's okay, because it's all good, and I like when you contradict someone when you're wrong, because it's kind of funny to me when I get to see it. And of course, let's not forget the chalkboard letter kit is a massive prefab that doesn't, I mean, okay, so I was bitching about this, and then a bunch of people said that this is what the Brotherhood of Steel chalkboard letter kits looked like in the first Fallout game. So, I will apologize, with all due respect, guys. I haven't played Fallout and Fallout 2 yet. I do plan to. Maybe I'll stream it on Twitch, and then people can come and laugh at me in real time. That's always a plus. By the way, you guys can follow me on Twitch if you want to laugh at me in real time. The link for that is in the description. Now, we have the Army of One bundle, and this comes with the Army Issue Paint shotgun, the Military Huddle Love pose, Military Huddle Cheer pose, Military Officer uniform, Black Skull Military Beret, Black Eagle Military Beret, Army Issue Plasma Caster paint, Military Footlocker Stash Box, Military Huddle Kneel pose, Military Officer Dress hat, and the U.S. Army Power Armor paint set. Obviously, a lot of stuff you're going to want for sure. I will say that this footlocker is pretty nice. It's just a stash box. I use it all the time, but I wouldn't buy this bundle just to get that, honestly. Now, this is the Waster Power Armor skin. You can waste them all with a Waster Power Armor skin, and when they say waste them all, they mean all your fucking money, because when you buy this, so that's something you can do. There's the Neighborhood Square Shelter. This is like a square in the neighborhood. This shelter is nice because even though they made a shelter that's outdoors, the light isn't shining in gaudy and hideous and fucking horrific like it is in the there's like 3 or 4 other shelters at this point that have horrific fucking looking sun, including the and then also the other one. So that's good. And then we have the Rescue Backpack, the perfect backpack for all your medical supplies when healing the wounds of your fellow Appalachians. This skin can be applied to both the small and standard backpack as a mod. So they went to the trouble to tell you the most obvious thing ever, which is that you can put this on the small and the standard backpack, but they won't tell you that something that's brand new, that's never been in the game before, gives you a agility and perception buff, because that's just, it's all about attention to detail, guys, and they don't want to. Now here's the Wasteland Werewolf outfit. If you want to look like that, you could really do that, so that's something you could do. Wow, make good decisions, folks. And then we have the matte black paint. I actually like this. One thing I love doing is when I'm a pilgrim is using a matte black AR, because you're like, here's the thing. When we first came here to colonize and, you know, kill a bunch of people, I wanted my AR to be matte black to match my Puritan drab. So that's what I did. And here we've got also this is what I looked like at night during that very first Thanksgiving when I cut the turkey. What's going on? And then we have the fire hazard camp kit. This thing genuinely is one of my favorite wall sets in the game. When you break it, it actually has a really unique model, which makes it really handy for building with. You can remove floors out from underneath it when it's broken because it doesn't require the support anymore. You can also place things through the wall of it, and it also just has a really nice look. When you double wall it, it's really nice because of the white on the inside. The windows have a unique shape, and I actually built a colonial style house using this kit. And I have a tutorial video that I'm going to link if you want to check that out. By the way, some people have been asking why I haven't been making building tutorials. And I have a feeling that if I put too much effort and time into making a build video, how am I going to, you know, have the time to scrape my skin off with a rusty fork? You know what I mean? It's hard to really get both things that I love doing down at one time. But I'm hoping to have a little bit more time soon. But I will say in the fall, there's going to be an update where allegedly it's going to be a big update for builders, and they've teased relaxed building restrictions. And so I'm kind of waiting to do more crazy stuff until then, because I don't want to do something that's going to literally put me over the edge. Like, let me tell you something, I can't deal with that right now. And then like a few weeks later, I could have just done that as if I was in a custom world with free building, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of waiting on the more crazy builds for that, hopefully, but I haven't given up building, and there will still be camp builds and camp build tutorials on this channel in the future. We're just kind of taking a short pause while we wait for them to figure their shit out, and they probably will for sure. And on the free and special offers, we have free Nuka-Cola Twist. This could be anything, so make sure you click on that. And there's also a free no trespassing sign that you can put on your camp, and then people will walk in your stuff anyway. And then if you have Fallout First, you can get the Gone Fishing emote, which I did show in another video if you want to see what that is. Who knows which video it was, though, because I don't have a working memory at the time, so it's like basically anyone's guess. Now, every day there's going to be a new item here, the limited time 21 hours. What that means is in 21 hours it'll reset and there'll be another limited time thing. And today it's going to be the birdcage backpack. This bird in it, by the way, is fake. It's plastic. It doesn't really move. Keep that in mind before you purchase it. I was going to buy this one initially when it first was in the shop, until I saw that the bird in it was plastic, and then it was kind of dumb. At that point, I'd almost rather the bird cage be empty. Why do I have a plastic bird in a cage? You know what I mean? But it's kind of cool. Keep in mind, you can put these on backpack displays, and you can put them on mannequins, and you can hide mannequins in the walls and stuff like that. So you could have a bird cage hanging somewhere if you really wanted to. Also, I'm gonna put a list here of all the stuff that's gonna be in the shop this week. So there's gonna be a new backpack this time every single day until next Tuesday. And since they didn't include any pictures on their website, we don't know what they are yet until they happen. So the list is useless because you're not going to be sure until you see what it is, if you need to log in to get it. But if you didn't log in to get it, how can you see what it is? So that's not very helpful, but here's a list anyway, and it's going to be just as good as the rest of shopping in the item shop has been. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and got something out of it. I sure did. Mostly a big herniated disc from all this tweaking that I've been doing over here. But I hope you guys also want to buy so much stuff and use your mom's money, because that's what the item shop is for. Don't forget, when you're done and there's any money left over, put it in, rake it into a big pile, and have a campfire to celebrate the 4th of July. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to my patrons and channel members for your support. I really do appreciate it, and I wouldn't be able to make these videos if it wasn't for your support. I'm able to buy this stuff and review it, and someone said that I was the reason why Bethesda was getting away with, you know, selling all this stuff, because I buy their products. Because they didn't realize, here's the math: if I've convinced 2 people not to buy stuff, then I've already reduced their sales, you know, because I'm only one person buying stuff. So that's how math works. But like I said, I wouldn't be able to without the support of my patrons and channel members, and they're saving you money if I'm saving you money. So thank you guys so much for your support. If you're interested in supporting the channel in that way, the link for that will be in the description. I also have a Discord that you should join, and we have a great community. We also have a Minecraft server that I started for people in my Discord as well. So that's been super fun, and I'll see you guys in the next